We are live. Okay. So here we go. Today it is 3/11/2020. Okay. Objective is to find the vertex of a parabola in standard form. Okay. We're going to find the vertex of a parabola in standard form. Okay. So, just a real quick picture, because picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Just going to draw a little parabola. Okay. It could be anywhere. Maybe I'll put my parabola right here. Okay.
Parabola.
So here's my parabola. Okay, I'm just putting it anywhere. There is a parabola. Now we do know that a parabola is symmetrical, and its line of symmetry goes right down through the vertex, right? Makes sense? So the line of symmetry can be found by an equation. X equals, say it again, negative b over 2a. So when I'm teaching this and somebody says, Mr. Davies, where'd you get the 2? It's always there. It's part of the formula, okay? The 2 is always there. It's always part of the formula, okay? Now, so the vertex of the parabola, which would be some point here, is the negative b over 2a, and its corresponding y value is plug it in. So that's going to be, you got it, and we'll call it f of negative b over 2a. That just means I plugged it in, okay? So the vertex of the parabola is also going to be your negative b over 2a. And then to get this answer, you plug it in. Plug it in. Okay, does that make sense? We kind of showed an example how that works. So let's take a look at example 1. Okay, so first of all, what I like to do is first I'm going to write my equation. X equals negative b over 2a. And that's my line of symmetry, okay? And I'll slow down and let you catch up, okay? It is in standard form. It's x squared, x number, right? And Penelope's going to put that phone away. Of course she is. Thank you, Penelope. So A is 2, B is 16, and C is my negative 5. So my A is 2 and my B is 16, okay? So I'm just going to plug those values into my formula. I'm going to go, okay, x equals negative b. I'm going to go negative 16 over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. Okay, just plug those values into my formula. I'm just going to do a little easy math. X is then equal to a negative 16 over 4, right? Or x is equal to 4. Yes. Negative.
A negative number, would it become a plus?
Yes. I'm going to do that. Take a look at example 3. You're so smart. You're so right. Thank you. Okay, now, to find, so that's my line of symmetry. I'm going to circle that. That's my line of symmetry. You don't have to graph this, but if you did, you don't have to graph this, but I'll show a little visual of what's going on. Yeah, it's negative 4. If I show a little visual of it, okay, my vertex lies somewhere on this line. Does that make sense? You don't have to graph it, but my vertex is going to lie somewhere along this line, right? So we want to find out where it lies along this line. Let's just plug this number in. Okay. So we're going to take and plug in my negative 4. I'm going to go, okay, y equals my 2 times my negative 4 squared plus 16 times negative 4 minus 5. And I will try and emphasize to you guys, it's okay to use a calculator. I'm going to type this in exactly like this in my calculator. It's okay, because this is not a math class to see if you can multiply. If you can't multiply, it's okay to use a calculator, right? But watch how I put it in my calculator. My calculator will do all the work for me. I'm just literally going to go just like this. I'm going to go 2 parentheses, negative 4, parentheses squared. See what I'm doing? Plus 16 parentheses, negative 4 parentheses, subtract 5. Okay? So I put the whole thing in my calculator, push enter, and there's my answer. Negative 37. So my vertex is a point at negative 4, negative 37. Okay, give me thumbs up. I want to see where you're at. It's okay, give me this if you're not sure. But are we good? Okay, all right. So let's do another one. Let's do a second one, and that's going to answer Cece's question. Because Cece asked if this is a negative, then the negative with the negative makes it positive. We'll see that, right? So what's my special equation? X equals what?
Negative b over 2a.
Good. In this example, a is 3 and b is negative 8. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to go x equals negative, well, negative 8, isn't it? Over 2 times 3. Okay? How's that look? So I get a double negative. That's okay because negative makes positive. So I'm going to get 8 over 6. Well, that's okay. I'm just going to, what is 8 divided by 6? 4/3. It is 4/3. And you can go ahead and go 4/3 or 1 1/3, right? So again, you don't have to graph this. It doesn't ask you to graph it, but it's always kind of nice to get some kind of a visual. So if I were to graph this graph, you don't have to, but let's just say, you know, you wanted to kind of figure out what's going on. I know that the line of symmetry is right about here, okay? About 1 1/3. You guys okay with that? And then the vertex is going to lie on that, so I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to go y equals 3, and I'm going to go I'm going to use my 4/3 squared, and then I'm going to go minus 8. I'm going to plug in my 4/3, and then I'm going to go minus 10. And you can also use these calculus. I'll show you how to do it, because the calculus will do the work for you. I'm going to go 3 parentheses. 4 divided by 3 is 4/3, okay? Squared. See how I did it? My calculator. Subtract 8. I'm going to plug in 4 divided by 3 or 4/3, right? See, my calculator can do all the work for you. And then subtract 10. Boom. Let the calculator do the work. And I get a negative 15.3 or negative 15 1/3. You guys agree with 1/3? So I get a corresponding y value is a negative 15 1/3. So my vertex is at 4/3 or 1 1/3, comma, negative 15 1/3. Okay, so it's way down here somewhere, right?
Davies, who came up with this?
I can show you how it's done later, okay?
No, I meant like who invented this?
I don't know. Don't know. A lot of algebra, believe it or not, was the Mayans came up with an awful lot of algebra, right? So if you have Hispanic or Latino origins, the Mayans came up with an awful lot of the algebra that we do today. How you like that, huh? Ready to turn the page? Okay.
Oh, we're not even on the other view.
Example 3. That's right. So, find the vertex. Is this a minimum or a maximum? Well, think about this. Okay, so let me give you 2 pictures real quick. Give you 2 pictures, because you know part of this answer already. You really do. Give you 2 pictures, all right? I got this picture here, and I got this picture here, okay? Well, that's no good. Okay, I got these 2 pictures, right? Okay, so let me ask you an obvious question. Is that a minimum or a maximum? It's obvious. It's a minimum, I agree. That's how it's obvious. Is this a minimum or a maximum?
Maximum.
Everybody agree with that? So how can I tell in example 3 whether it has a minimum or a maximum?
Negative or positive.
So it's a negative, which means this one, this graph is going to look like that because it'd be upside down. So this graph would have a maximum. Does that make sense? So if A is negative, we'll have a maximum. And if A is positive, will have a minimum. Okay, that makes sense, right? So let's figure out what it is. So, one more time, what's our equation? X equals, what's our equation? Negative b over 2a. And in this example, my a is negative 2 and my b is 5, right? So I'm going to go x equals negative 5 over 2 times negative 2, which makes 5 over negative 4, or a negative 1.25. You okay with that?
Is it negative 5? Because
Oh, did I make a mistake? I did make a mistake. Oh my goodness. Yes. Thanks, Cece. So it's positive 1.25. Thank you. So let's find the corresponding y value. Plug it in. We're going to go then y equals a negative 2 times 1.25 squared plus a 5 times 1.25 plus 7. Then I'm just going to plug it in my calculator. I'm going to go clear. I'll go negative 2 parentheses. I'll go 1.25 squared plus 5 times 1.25 plus 7. And I get a value of 10.125. Y equals 10.125. So my line of symmetry, that's my line of symmetry, is x equals 1.25, and my vertex is my 1.25 comma 10.125, which is a maximum, right? It is a maximum. How am I doing? Is it making sense? Okay, last but not least. All right. Now, in example 4, here's the thing. To graph parabolas, to graph a straight line, you need 2 points. To graph a straight line, you need 2 points. Visual, right? With a parabola, all you need is 3 points, as long as one of the points is the vertex. Let's check it out. You need 3 points to graph a parabola, okay? So let's check it out, okay? So first of all, to graph this thing, let's go through it. My line of symmetry, line of symmetry is x equals what? What? Negative b over 2a, and a is 2 and b is negative 8, right? So we'll go x equals negative 8 over 2 times 2, okay? Which is 8 over 4, x equals 2. All right. Going to go ahead and see if I can graph this. I bet I can. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to do a line of symmetry at 2. Okay? So this is my line of symmetry, x equals 2. Now, what's my vertex? So to find my vertex, let's plug this in. So I'm going to go y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 minus 5, okay? And I'm going to put that in my calculator to make it easy. So to make it easy, I just go 2 parentheses 2 squared minus 8 parentheses 2, and then subtract 5 and get an answer of negative 13. So my vertex is at 2, negative 13. Well, I better make my axis a little bit bigger because I'm going all the way down to negative 13, right? Okay, there we go. So, all right, so I'm going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's negative 13. So I'm going to put a point right there, okay? Right there. All right? How am I doing? Now, let me ask you an easy question. You know this. You know this.
Negative b over 2a.
No, you know this. Q. What's the y-intercept? Take a look at it. What's the y-intercept?
That.
What's the y-intercept?
That equation right there.
What's the y-intercept?
That. What you're pointing at.
It's negative 5. If x were 0, think about it. Plug 0 in. If x were 0, what's left? Put 0 in. If x were 0, what's left?
5.
Negative 5, right? So my y-intercept, so to get my y-intercept, let x equal 0. Or it's your C value, right? So if I put a dot at negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and put that. So my y-intercept is the negative 5. Okay? Now, put a dot there and listen to something really easy. I'm almost done. There's a third point. Do you see it? There's a third point. Do you see
I
it?
see it. It's really down low.
Right there. See where my finger is? Why is there another point right here?
Because it's on the other.
Say it loud.
Banana.
Banana. Line of symmetry, right? Because you fold this point here. Okay? So I put my other point here, and I can sketch in enough of my graph that I have an idea what it looks like. Thumbs up?